What up, everybody? It's Juggalotus with Faygoluvers.net here at the Rittz Tour. Was it the OD Tour, right? So we're here in Tucson, Arizona. Hotter than hell. Chilling here now with Raz Simone out of Seattle, Washington. So I was kind of checking you out. Didn't really know a whole lot about you coming in. You started rapping and got your debut album out in 2012, correct?
Yeah.
And it was a little EP, and then you started on the tour with that. How did that go? Like, I know before that you really didn't listen to a whole lot of music, and then kind of found out that your poetry kind of flowed with music and rap. So when you started rapping and actually getting in the studio and recording, like, was it totally new, or was it just like spoken word over beat? Like that first EP, how was that?
I mean, so I've been rapping since I was 14. That's when I really realized I was rapping.
Okay.
Before it was like I just had like a lot of shit going on, like at home and everything, and I would just write out like how I was feeling, you know, and I was passionate about things. And that was like poetry. In 6th grade, I learned, you know, I started writing poetry. Before that, I was writing stories. I didn't listen to any kind of music, especially like no kind of rap or hip hop. I didn't know anything. And it's because of the home that I grew up in, I didn't have any of that going on. It just wasn't an interest. But once I started feeling the power in it, like how it made me feel listening to certain things, like listening to movies, you know what, and like feeling the soundtrack and stuff like that, that was when I really started jumping in. And so I started when I was 14, I'm 24 right now. 2012, that was the first thing. The day after I dropped that, I actually went to jail and got a gun charge in New York. Because I was out and I was like flying with my gun, trying to protect myself. I was running around with kind of bodyguards and like that, you know. And I had some other little run-ins and shit like that, so I was trying to protect myself. But so the day after I dropped that, I was in jail. That was shitty, you know. But everything else was great, and like the momentum from everything has been great. It's been all love. You know, I'm doing exactly what I love because my number one love in life and passion is people, and so I love like getting out and like, you know, doing this and like talking to people, touching people, being able to meet the people. You know, I'm going places and I already know who people are because I know the Twitter handle. Like, you ever tell me that like I was gonna kill myself with music, like help me give you something, whatever, you know, like all that shit. That's right. That's what I care about. That's what I love. Like I've already seen the money. I've seen like all that shit. Like I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Like, you know, I think it's ironic to become an artist to make money. Right. For sure. Like becomes an artist to make money. Artists usually don't get paid.
Right. Starving artists, right?
Yeah. So it's really stupid to me. Like if I wanted to make money, I'd be doing something else. I'd, you know, keep private banks. Maybe I'd be a fucking lawyer or a doctor or something like that. But I wouldn't be a rapper if I wanted to make money. I wouldn't be art. Right. You know. So I'm like that. I haven't even sold any of my music yet. I don't put it on iTunes. I don't like fuck with any of that shit. I just put it on my website, razsimone.com for free. You know. So.
And now you're out here with Rittz. You know, of course, big name in Strange's camp. How did you get hooked up with Rittz in the tour?
Well, Miss Strange has been like paying attention to me for a while, like just like fucking me, like Twitter and shit like that, just saying some moves like that, you know. So I knew that they were like seeing me, and I was like, that meant a hell of a lot, really, because you know, I'm from Seattle, and like, you know, there's like a, I mean, you know, as you probably know, there's a huge Juggalo, you know, huge movement out there.
Yes, sir.
Jack comes out, it's always live too on that side, you know, lots of technicians out there. Even like one of the first CD, well, actually the first like hip hop CD I got like given to me was a text. It was really random, because when I was talking to Strange the other day, I realized, and I was like, that's fucking weird. Because like technically, like, that was like the first CDs that I got like to me in Nas, you know. But it was like my homie, my Polish homie came home one day. He's like, hey man, this guy handed this to me at the mall. And like he said, like the artist in it to him, like Tech gave it to him at the mall. You know, this was a long ass time ago. And like I was like, oh, okay, we just popped it in or whatever. I wasn't listening to any kind of music back then, but the Mama said it's Papa, I'm gonna tell the Papa. Like that was like that came on, and I was like, that was my jam. Like that summer, like I was like listening to that because I liked it. It already had like, cause I was really into movie scores. You know, right. I had that kind of like that feeling, that like,
definitely, you know, some stories,
cinematic shit. So I was like, you know, and I really like the dark, like, because that's like what I had, a lot of what I had in my heart, like when I have like going on in my body, like that dark and like epic shit, like where you can zone out and you just want to do your shit, like it's therapeutic, you know. So that type of shit, like always got on to me, like melody wise and then lyric wise, when someone's talking about some real shit, you know, you hear the passion and the pain, you know, like so that type of shit, you know, that was the vibe.
Definitely. That's my first time seeing you or hearing you music live. you know, and it's up to, I mean, Rittz, I mean, he's about to go on, but you hands down had the best set of the night because it was real. I can tell you moved a lot of your like personal stuff into your music. You say it's therapeutic. You mentioned your past, you know, being a little rough growing up and stuff. How much influence is that in what you're doing now? Because I mean, you know, through writing and everything, you have so much you can get out, and then the well kind of runs dry. But there's some of those artists that can continually go back and dig it out. You know,
see, that's my thing. Like the well never runs dry because, well, for one, the struggle doesn't ever stop, and then because the thing is that a lot of times the well runs dry for people because they have a goal that is you know what I'm saying? Like once I get that chain, I'm good.
Right.
Once I get that car, I'm good. Once I get that mansion on the hill, once I can buy an island. You know what I mean? Like, they have things like that. Once I can buy my mom a house, things like that, material things. And so once they get that, then they're plateaued. And they're like, shit, I got everything that I ever wanted. What could I want now?
Right.
None of my things are material things. You know what I mean? Like, if something like that happens, that's cool. I don't care about cars. Like, I already been through cars, treat them like shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I mean? There was a point where I was like, that's all I do is hustle. And I thought that I gotta get money for my son. And then once you get enough of that, it's like, man, he needs everything in the world. I need to get everything for him. And then you start realizing none of that shit means anything. Like, I'm not gonna be happy if I come home with a new car. He doesn't know the difference between this car and that car. You know what I mean? He doesn't know the difference between that shit. So I realized like none of that shit means anything. Like the goals that I have are like goals that aren't that they're not coming anytime soon. You know, like goals like world peace or like, you know, things like that, like being able to go at addiction and be able to take away addiction. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that where I still haven't figured it all the way out yet. You know, like my heart is like it's for people. My passions in life are people, art, which is music, travel, business, and creating jobs. All those things are because, you know, I want to be able to create jobs because I like to help people. But I've learned from all the addicts I have in my family, when you try and help people by just giving them money, then all you do is enable them and you create more. If you addiction, it doesn't help, it cripples them. So if you can get someone a job, that's something that helps people. So that goes back to my first passion, art. I love art. I'm able to travel with my art, you know, and that goes, it all goes in and in. So I'm doing everything I love every single day, you know. But for one, I've only told like a little percentage of my story, so I already had so much of the whole stuff to be able to put out. Then every day there's more things coming up. So it's like I can keep on going hundreds and hundreds of songs that all be from the heart because, you know, and then once I get through that struggle, then I sign up to a different struggle. It's on to that. The only thing is to make sure you keep your feet to the ground, you know, and to keep that compassion for people and that empathy because a lot of people, artists, they get that gap. Once they get all those material things that they wanted, then they don't even understand, they don't even remember or even think about that struggle. They don't, and then, but you have to realize that you're only one person. I mean, everybody else is still in that struggle. Definitely. Like if I go up, you're still out here grinding up over here with these interviews, you might still be in your struggle. So like just because I came there doesn't mean that you're good. Right. Just because I came there doesn't even mean my mom's good. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. If you come up, you know, we might still be out here grinding. You know? So it just doesn't work like that. You know, so it's never gonna stop. I got so much more shit to come and it's all from the heart. I'd have to stop music, you know, like or maybe kill myself if I didn't have some more shit to talk about. I'm not gonna keep on just talking with some shit that doesn't have any kind of heart mind. For sure. That's all my music. It's all influenced by everything I do. I don't make up stories. I don't rap about like killing people that if I haven't done it. I don't rap about, you know, I'm not the type of person that's telling someone else's story. I'm telling my story because I have enough stories to tell. Right. You know, and it's all about just it's personal. You know?
Now, I haven't listened to your set. Heard what you said. There's artists out there that have done that throughout time. And you mentioned your first one was Tech and Pop. Of course, Pop got a lot of stories that he told. But you know, you had guys like Common, you had guys like Nas. You know, when they get it big, it was telling stories from the heart, and they were saying things that meant something. And even, I mean, today, Common is socially conscious. The same what needs to be said for his people. Big thing he's got going on. Do you put yourself in that, like, group of people, or are you kind of a hybrid of everything? Like, how would you classify yourself
in that group of people? Because, like, so check it, like, when I was younger, I was all into the Bible. That's what I grew up on. I learned how to read from the Bible. Okay. So, you know, I felt like I was strong and based in that. Then as time went on, I felt like I was lied to. I knew everything about the Bible back and forth. And I felt like everything was a lie. Like that, you know, that my pastors lied to me, all that stuff. So, but back then, you know, my mom, she's always been a Christian or a Bible. You know, she's not the bad Christian that comes in the head with one, but she just loves Jesus, right? You know, reads reads the Bible and knows everything. So she used to ask me, Solomon, that's my first name, my last name is Simone. She said, Solomon, why don't you become a Christian rapper? And I would look at her and say, Mom, who listens to Christian rap? Christians. It's like the epitome of preachers and choir.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to, like, a person like Common, or even like Talib Kweli. These guys are amazing. Like, they're amazing at what they're crafting. But you have to think about it. Who listens to them? It's more socially conscious people, more positive people. Right? The fact that you like that already speaks volumes about who you are. You're probably sharp and socially conscious, and you know what's going on. You are, you know. So the people that need it the most aren't really listening to them. Right. Even me, I'm socially conscious. I might be socially, but I still might be out here doing some stupid shit because that's where my mind's at. You know, like. And so even though I'm conscious of what I'm doing, I'm in a different mindset. I'm doing this shit. So if I need that the most, these that need it the most, I'm not out here listening to them. Okay. So my thing is that you have to meet people where they're at. And right now I'm still struggling. I'm still out here. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the type of stuff that I make music for. I make music for people that got bullied in school. I make music for people who are out selling dope. I make music for girls who are out selling their body. You know what I mean? Like things that I understand that I've seen. I was always that kid that I was gonna be a leader, even if I was the person that no one liked. You know, I've been in school where everyone hated me. I've been in classes where everyone loved me. You know what I mean? But I was always on my own. You know, there was times where I thought everyone hated me, and then later they were like, and then like I got voted best personality because what it was all the people that nobody liked voted for me. Because I was always, I used to beat up all the bullies as much as I could. You know, that's the type of person I am. I have a heart for people. You know, so that's what it is. And so I want to stay as close to the people with the music as possible. I don't want to get too far. I don't ever want to preach to them. There's certain things that I hate. Like I hate, you know, different injustices in the world. But I'm not gonna preach it to people. I want to more so do what I'm doing. And my music is gonna be rough, a little rough around the edges. You know, but that's what it is.
For sure. And coming out with Rittz, you know, Strange Music has a really strong following in the Juggalo community and Outcast, and that's kind of what that group of fans is. I mean, a lot of us, you know, have found that comfort in that family scenario where we all were different and we all were picked on and we all, you know, didn't fit. You know, so it's a good thing you're out here, man. I'm really happy that we've had a chance to hear you and let you out here with us.
No, definitely. And like for me, like it's a genuine love. Like I know a lot of people I talk to people, rappers and stuff. A lot of people look at their fans like dollar signs.
Right.
And a lot of people look at the Juggalo community like that also. Yep. But see, before I even knew like about music or anything, like I used to wear parachute pants and skateboard shoes and shit like that. You know what I mean? I used to look a lot weirder than what you see at the gathering. You know what I mean? Like I'm my own person. But growing up in Seattle, I grew up around a lot of Juggalos. Right. Some people that don't even know the Juggalos, but they are. That's how they rock. And I appreciate that type of bond because that's everything that I've ever felt. You know, the reason why I started realizing that I like creating jobs was because I used to have like a crew of all of my people and Outcasts and all that stuff that we used to get together and we would sell dope. We would go and do this. I'd have a group of people going in and running in and grabbing clothes, you know, and stealing clothes and shit like that, doing all that stuff. And then I realized, oh, that shit's kind of negative, right. But it was more a positive thing. Like it was like some Robin Hood type of shit, you know. But I had so much love for that and like I said, for Strange Music, like what Tech's been doing, like all that stuff, like there's just a personal type of bond with that.
There is.
I have a thing on my website, RazSimone.com. It's called The Village, and it's the same type of thing that I'm trying to build. Is where it's a family, and so like my thing is it's a village where, you know, instead of where it's a community where everyone can talk back and forth. We have a whole map, and like so we might have like 100 people out here in Arizona, 500 people in Seattle, 20 people out in Australia, and the whole thing is that where everyone will have my number and we can go back and forth. So like, let's say you're flying out to Seattle, you're taking care of when you land, right. Now you're getting picked up by somebody from the village. You know, like if I'm in Seattle, then we're being able to chop it. You know, if I fly out to DC or if you fly out to DC, whoever in the village, no matter what, has that support. So it's not a street team. You know, a street team is like it just goes towards the artist and that's it.
Right.
It's something where everyone is able to use it. Everyone's able to deal with each other. And it's not even just about being able to get help out when you're in some city. It's like being able to sit and build and have dinner, talk, learn people, have actual relationships with people. because I think the relationships are everything, and the thing is that the more genuine relationship is, I call it moral fibers. The more moral fibers that you have, the more impenetrable it is.
Sure.
If all you do it with your homies, it's like all you have is your smoking homies, or you just have your smoking buddies, you get together, you got smoke, and once somebody stops smoking, then nobody comes around.
Right.
You know, so that's not real. You know, but if you got smoke together, and you eat together, and you know, play with your kids together, and you talk about this together, and you go here together, then it's like, damn, when one thing walks out, you're still connected like this. You still got bonds. It's all about that, you know, and that takes away a lot of things. It takes away violence, it takes away depression, it takes away a lot of different things. If you have a good, you know, a base and a good group of people, you know, so that's what that's all about. Run out of space?
No, my flash turned off.
All right, well, we're gonna go in the dark for this last one. Last question of the night. What do you know, having been out on the road with Rittz for a while, what do you got to say to the fans that haven't seen you, don't know much about you? What's your last word to the fans?
I'll say, come out, check it out. Don't judge a book by its cover. You know, just it's all about the heart. You know, I wear a lot of gold, but that doesn't mean that I'm trying to stun on people. It's just something that happened. I wear the cheapest gold possible, but it's just something I like. I would just say, just check it out and you know, have an open mind. The thing that I've seen about Rittz, a lot of Rittz fans and strange music fans, is that they are open-minded for the most part. I'm not gonna give everybody that, but for the fucking most part, and that's something I appreciate. So be open-minded. I've heard that when you put out something quality, then you get quality back. So if you put out quality music, then you get quality listeners back. Definitely. And usually quality people. So luckily I've been running into a lot of that. So I'd have to say shout out to Strange Music for that, shout out to Rittz for that. Much love. If that's you, or if you fall into any of those categories, just be open-minded and listen. That's all I say.
All right, man. That's it, man. My interview series is 20 minutes with. It's been a pleasure, man. 20 minutes with Raz Simone. If you haven't checked him out yet, go check him out. You guys got, what, about another 10 days left? 18 days left. So if you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Juggalos, Faygoluvers, thank you so much. We out.
In my hometown, I get fucking respect, cause it's not who does it the first, it's who does it the best.